Yate, yate. Okay, before this story starts, I gotta add something. Now, in the last video, I think Sexual Shenanigans Part 2, Parte 2, I mentioned how holding in the cum for so long caused, when Stella and I first had sex, I would bust really fast. Now, I don't want to scare people into not doing this, not holding in their cum before sex. Maybe they'll be like, oh my god, I don't want to come fast. I gotta masturbate before we have sex. No, because there are ways and methods and techniques where you can actually last long, even if you've been holding in your cum for a very long time. You got that red hot, white hot rocket ready to rip and blast off at the touch of a fingernail, or the blow of an air molecule, or the scent of a flower touching your dick and it just about to explode. Don't worry about it. And another thing is, at the time with Stella, I just felt no need to perform like usual. And also another thing is, I remember I was trying to do it. I was like trying to perform like usual so I could last long, whatever. Because I like it, you know. Well, I prefer usually to play. I'm not done playing when I'm not done playing. Like, I can't, if I come and then it's like, you have to stop. And I'm like, no, I'm not finished with you yet. But still got annoyed in the first like 5 seconds and just yelled at me, just come. And I was like, okay. Anyway, back to the main event. As if this was not. Limit is illusion. Unlimited is illusion. And real if so. Another story coming in. What's the temperature? I'm gonna sneeze. What's the temperature? It's pretty warm in here. I had to eat. So I took a little walk. I'm a little sweaty. Got some McDonald's. McDonald's is fun to have sometimes. The double filet-o-fish. Don't mess with the filet-o-fish. Had a large fries. Fed some seagulls. And drank that iced chai latte frappuccino macchiato cattiappuccino azzalino. And now we're going to tell a story. This randomizer wants that I speak about every story about these girl stories. These stories with girls. Keeps picking them. I already said this story, but I'm going to redo it because I went on for like an hour and 45 minutes. It was right after the first concert. The first 24 minutes of it, I wasn't even recording. But then I'm like, oh, the phone filming me was recording. And then I check it. And because I had it plugged in with the charger, it's like, so you couldn't even hear the audio. So I'm like, oh my God, it was such a fail. And I said some stupid stuff in that. Said some dumb stuff in that story. I just rambled on. And yeah, it was almost as fail as the concert. The concert was pretty fail. But it was the first concert, and that's the beauty of the DeVonQi channel. Or if it's a channel, it's just everything. Watch a person grow. The Watch a Person Grow channel. But not a channel, the whole spectrum. And beyond that. Watch a person grow. Yeah. Audio cut out during the concert. The video cut out randomly. So it's just all black. And I put it back on in the middle. And I'm just like, whatevering through it. Flipping through my phone, going on guitar tabs during it. You know, it's the friggin' first concert. What are you going to say? You get to see behind the scenes until the skills gain XP. Anyway, we're going to talk about this stupid, dumb crush story that just happened recently. This was the last crush before getting back with Stella. This was funny. So we'll call the girl I had a crush on. We'll call her Birdie. I think that's what I called her last time. I was trying to remember. Anyway, so I just come back from Nihongo kara kaeru desu yo ne. And I'm like, I gotta go back for longer. I gotta get the holograms dealt with. So I'm like, I gotta get a job. Gotta save my money, and I gotta get right back. So I going on Indeed, whatever the heck damn job sites, probably Indeed. And I'm applying, and I'm like, dishwasher, maybe dog jobs, but dishwasher, because it's chill. Dishwasher's chill. I don't care. And I love dishwashing. Or busting is cool. Anyway, so I get reply back from this job at, I won't say the name, I'll change it to Brazzo College. And this is like a boarding school. It's like the school from the game Bully. And kids sleep there and stuff. I was hired to serve and do dishes, clean the kitchen, and prep food. It was the chillest, cleanest kitchen I ever worked at. Like 3 people a shift. You're just chilling. Boss goes home and you're just chilling. Especially if you're night shift. If you're night shift, the boss goes home. And I remember the boss, we'll just call her Chef. And I remember our interview, and she's like, we're talking. And I remember I was learning French at the time because I had to learn French again. I failed French in high school and elementary because I was just like, screw this class. But when I got older, I'm like, I actually want to learn languages. Let's go back to French. Let's make Madame Ballot proud. And the other teacher, I forget her name. Madame Ballot was from elementary school. And then there was a teacher in high school who was the aunt of another girl I had a crush on back in elementary school. So I had this crush on this girl in elementary school when I was in like grade like 3, 4. And I thought her nose was so well chiseled. I remember I had like a liking to noses when I was really young. I'm like, I need to find the perfect nose. And like she had a perfect nose. I'm like, wow, I love her nose. But Stella has a perfect nose. Everyone has a perfect nose. Anyway, I was like, dude, I want to kiss her nose and suck on it. I thought I wanted to suck on her nose. And I was small. And it was weird because when I think about it now, I'm like, yo, I was so small. And I thought I wanted to suck on her nose. Anyway, back getting to high school, this French teacher that failed me was actually her aunt. And then again, I failed and I stayed back a grade. and I failed again, but then the teacher just auto passed me. I just got auto passed. I literally got defaulted out of the tutorial. Anyway, so back to the thing. I'm like telling her, oh, did you know chef in French means boss? Because she said, just call me chef. I was like, oh, chef means boss. So like, I get it now why all the chefs are like, call me chef, call me chef. Why all head chefs want to be called chefs, because they're the boss. And it's also cool, meme or meme. I don't remember how you say it. I honestly don't know. Let's actually find out. But it's spelled M-E-M-E, is a French word, and it means same. Cool, eh? Because memes, everyone is this relates to it. Everyone's the same. How do I say it? Mem. Don't ever say meme. Again, I became one of those. I did it on purpose, okay? I did it on purpose. So, get in, I'm working, I'm like, what up? And then I see the boy, we'll call him Rap Chat, because he showed me Rap Chat. He had a Rap Chat account. I'm like, this is cool. I listened to his songs and was like, 2020, new vision. I was like, oh, it's about to go diggity down, new vision. I only look out, my eyes chicken with my bride, chicken with my vision. I got nuclear fission with this mask on my face like I'm wishing it would end. With my friends, they at home, quarantine, no one on ends. Bro, what you doing on the bend? Why you driving all the bends on my road? Why you trying to drive bends on my end? You try to bend, you try to drive, man, I take chef and I shove you in the eye. Why you trying to do that, bruv? Move that, cause grooving, not with moving, buzz. You can't mess with crew groove, this move it, bruv. Why you trying to do this? Cause look at that man, look at that plan with the plan man, he got no guns. Bands, like he wanna talk that band at the coffee shop, he got Molly rocked. He want to look down at the block, and I'm like, don't look at the block, cause mans don't look with the sock. You got the rock down there. Why you doing that? Why you doing that? Why you on the corner? Why you throwing that? Why you slinging rock on the corner that I rock on? Why you blocked on a man with the stock on? Why you got the stock like I go crack on? I don't wanna talk about violence, so we took that out of the rap. We put a heart in the rap. We look at the man them and look at the black, look at the white, look at the grey, look at the middle of the thing like look at it all, it looks so bright. Look at the man, he look in the light, and look, liquid, water, ticket, got him, the heaven. Where you going? My name, what's it, Devin? Look at this. Alright, back to the story. Because it's so embarrassing, so I'm like stalling. So anyway, so I get to the ends of this thing, and Rap Chat's like, yo, we gotta do this and this and this. I'm like, okay. And then we got Sister F. Sister F was like, let's go to church. I'm like, I'm coming. And we go to church, and we go, and I'm playing with the tambourine, like, I'm doing like the office syncopated beats, and like everyone's going on beat, and I'm like, I'm doing off beats, like, anyway. And there was like other guy there, we'll call him B-Ball. Then we got KM. KM was a little coolie girl. And I'm just doing my work. And like a week in, or a month in or something, all of a sudden, I walk up and I'm like, I'm also speaking with to chef in Korean. Like I would tell her what I know in Korean, and she would say something, and I'd be like, oh, 사랑해. I don't remember. I gotta study Korean again. 함자 토른 여자 남자 토른 여자. I don't remember. 감사합니다. Little finger cross thing, because I love you. Don't even need to love you, because There's no limit to that. Anyway, so a month in, I go up to walk to Chef and be like, hey, and then there's this cutie patootie standing with her, and it's Birdie. I'm like, what the heck? Well, actually, okay, I hadn't been talking to Chef in Korean until later, until after this point when I saw them, because I went up and then they're talking in some language and I'm like, okay, I really feel stupid, but what the heck? And I say, Chef, what language is that? And she's like, Korean. Anyway, I didn't get introduced to her. Like, I just looked at her, I was like, I'm not gonna say anything, and she didn't say anything, and the Chef didn't say anything. I was like, okay. And then talking Korean and split up. She went to her do her cooking. She was the head cook. So anyway, I'm like, wow, that girl's cute. But forget about her. And then during work, I'm like, forget about her. I'm going to Japan. Like, I'm not even. And then I just remember cutting food once. I don't know. I just remember feeling her being like, making spiritual like subtle advances. And I was like, stop, or else I'm going to bite. I just remember I was cutting food one day and she came beside me and my whole stomach was like a rocket ship. Like a rocket was shooting up in my stomach and shooting down at the same time and shooting all around. Like the sun. So I was like, yo, I'm going to have a baby with this girl. Yeah, I'm going to have a baby with this girl. So I started making advances back. And I was like, do you want to go out one day? Oh, no, wait. I don't know if I asked that yet. But I just remember saying flirty stuff to her. And then I just remember one day. I want to remember what I said exactly that made her do this. But I remember our timesheets there, we would have to write them down. We had no like punch card. This was the cleanest, nicest, chillest 5-star Michelin mock star, 6 Michelin mock stars kitchen. And we had to write down our time. So like people would write down fake times and stuff to get more money. I was just like, dude, don't do that. But then Rap Chat would be like, yo, do it. Because of this and this and this. And he'd make a reason. I'd be like, fine, bro. I cave. I should have been stronger. I'm sorry I put wrong hours. But probably everyone does that. But they shouldn't. Some people were getting in trouble because they were like way too obvious. This one girl. Anyway, so I didn't do that all the time. Like 30 times I'm like, no, man. I'm just putting my freaking what I work, bro. And other times I'm like, keep fine, bro. Just don't scream at me. I'll do it. Rap Chat would have a gun to my head like, yo, fucking, because I'm doing it, so you got to do it too, bro. So anyway, I say to, like, I write on her thing, saranghae in Korean. And I put a bunch of hearts on her page. So when she sees it, she's like, what the heck? She didn't say anything, but she would always say goodnight after. And then this time she said goodnight was like, she didn't say anything. She didn't say goodnight at all. And I was like, waiting for her to come say goodnight like she usually does. I'm like, oh man, is she working late? Is she working late? Oh my gosh, she'll come like half an hour. Maybe she's late today. Hour passes. I'm like, dude, is she gone? And I look around and she's gone. I'm like, oh, did I scare her? Because I would call her like, you're my strawberry. And then I go to the fridge and get a strawberry and just eat it in front of her. Like, I don't even know. I was saying the weirdest stuff. Like, I can't even remember some of it. But it was retarded because it got to a retarded point. Because like I was like rushing to get her pregnant. Because like I'm going to Japan in 2 months. I'm going in 2 months. I need to get you pregnant in 2 months. Anyway, COVID hit. So I ended up being like, oh, I'm staying longer. And she was like, oh shit. Anyway, so now that night she didn't say goodnight. When I wrote on her card or her sheet, her time sheet, I went to get the dinner she makes for us because it would usually be Rap Chat and I and Birdie, or like B-Ball and I, or KM and I, and Birdie. And she would make dinner for us because she leaves at like 7:30, and we stay till like 9. So we would have to get dinner by her. She would just make the leftovers, whatever, put it on, wrap it in saran wrap, and leave. So we went to go get dinner, and it's a big plate with all this stuff on it. Rapchat has his plate next to mine, and there's a piece of bread on top of the like food mound, and a piece of bread on his food mound, and saran wrap. And his is a round bread, and mine just has what looks like a bite in it. And I like looking. I look at Rapchat and I go closer. I look at Rapchat and I go closer. And I'm like tripping balls. I'm like, that's not a bite, is it? I'm like, bruh. Rapchat. Like, what the hell? And he's looking at it too. He's like, I don't even know. We just didn't say anything because I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask if that's a bite because I'm gonna look stupid. Probably was a bite. I still don't know to this day. So anyway, next day comes, I'm all happy. I'm like, cool. She took a bite on my bread. And the next day I'm like, hey, do you want to go out? She's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. Eat food, have fun. She's like, heh. Well, when? I'm like, this weekend? She's like, well, when we get the chance. I'm like, whatever. And then she's like, or like, no, before I asked her out the next day, she came to give me a bin, and I was like, you drive me crazy. And she smiled. And I remember I always talked to Sister F. I'm like, Sister F. I said this to her, and then she smiled. She's like, so that means she likes you because she smiled. I'm like, oh, really? Anyway, so fast forward, I don't know, maybe a few days, I start getting a vibe. I'm like, dude, she's starting to like Rapchat now. She's starting to like him too. I'm like, now I think we're both like, we have to both like damn, bruh. We have to both like, I don't want to say fight over her, but like, it's like whoever gets her first, I think is what is going on right now. But I was just like, god damn, like I don't care. Like I don't want to fight. So, or like I don't care. So anyway, I just remember one day I'm doing the dishes, and usually Birdie leaves to go like to the washroom at this certain time, like always. Now that I think of it, maybe, I don't even know. I was going to say maybe she was nothing. So anyway, and then I see Rapchat's gone too. And I'm not sure exactly if he was gone, but I think he might have been. And they're gone for like 7 minutes in heaven. I don't even know. But like, I think Rapchat was gone. I went to look outside, I didn't see him. But he could have been right there, and I just missed him. So I'm just doing the dishes, and I see Birdie's feet come right around the corner back in, and then right behind her come Rapchat. But he's pushing the cart, so I didn't know if he was just literally right there and I just missed him, or if he just like grabbed the cart. And so I'm like, and like the whole time they were disappeared, I'm like, dude, I'm getting weird intuitive vibes that they're like making out right now or something in the change room. Because I remember they started flirting right after that. Like they were like really close after that. I was just like, the hell. And then she, like the next day, I'm like, whatever. Like I'm just like, I'd always come in mad too. I'd come in mad at her. I'd be like, fucking mad at you. Like, shut up. And then she went to go show me like some stuff in the fridge. She's like, you need to get this in the fridge. And then she like came rushing. She came right in front of me, rushed, open the door. You have to go outside to go to the fridge, and the fridge is right outside, right there. She opens the back door, goes in the fridge, goes to the back corner of the fridge, and it's like a little square fridge, and then she just stands there. And I'm like in there too, and she's like, it kind of seemed like she was just like opening herself, like, kiss me now, big boy. I'm just like looking at her like, so do I get this stuff? Because she didn't tell me what to get. She just went in, I'll show you what to get in the fridge. And she went in and just like stood there. I was like, make out with me. That's what I thought was going on. But I don't know. I'm naive, and like at the same time, I'm just like, dude, I don't Like, I'm not down for that. Like to just make out at work in a fridge. Like it's just too like, bleh. Blah. Like I'd like to like go out, have a slushy, go to a fair, take a Ferris wheel ride to the top, then maybe kiss you there. Or like wait till we get to your apartment, chill for a few days, and then when it's like, okay, I want to kiss you now. And at the same time, it's like, I don't know, weren't you just like making out with a rat chat or something? Like now this might be like, I don't know if this is what you want to make out with me, but like if it is, then I'm sure you probably were making out with me. So then I think that same day or the next day, her and him disappear into the back room for like 14 years. I'm like, I'm not even looking. I'm not even gonna go look. And then they both come out and I'm just like, I don't even know what the heck what that was. Usually like two people would go in the back room to stack stuff, but I don't know. Because I did stack stuff with Sister F a lot in there. So I don't know if that's what they're doing, but whatever. So I'm kind of just like, and I'll just ignore her all the time. She's like, Devon, come, I'm going to show you how to cut the meat. I'm like, ignoring her, just like, I didn't hear you. Shut the fuck up. And I just like, oh my God, I was making such an issue. I was just so like, you're so annoying, dude. But then I started going hard. Like I started being annoying. I started saying the stupidest stuff to her. And I could not even remember. But I just remember being so like, finally in life, I'm just defeated. COVID hit. I don't know what's going on with Japan. This is a time where I'm getting like, I had already gotten the cops called on me by Vel because I would always be like messaging her. I think that was before this, like really recent before this. Well, that's another story. And that'll probably come because there's some stuff. So yeah, I get the cops calling me by girls. That's how annoying I am. So it happened twice with Velvel. Oh yeah, it just happened twice with Velvel. That's it. Oh, and then elsewhere, that girl just calls cops though. She just calls police. Like she just calls police. Like that's like, those are her boys. She's like, you called me an idiot, calling the cops. Why is the water bottle in the fridge with the label facing in? Yo, I'm calling the police. You know what I mean? So, or like she smashed everything in the whole apartment. Oh yeah, I told you. Wait, did I? Was that in the story or did I miss that? Dude, did I? There's no way I missed that. I'm gonna have to re-listen to Sexual Shenanigans Part 2. Because I don't remember if I mentioned that. Oh my goodness, I missed so much in Sexual There's going to be a Sexual Shenanigans Part 4. Well, I don't even remember if I said this stuff, but I'm going to have to re-listen. I got like knives to my neck and stuff. And my Beethoven statue, she threw it off the balcony to break it. I had a Beethoven little bust. And it was my G. And then she whipped it off the 14th floor. And I'm like, no. And it's flying down and it hits the grass. I'm like, yeah. And we start sprinting down. I'm pretty sure I said that. Anyway, so back to the birdie. So that happens and I'm just kind of annoyed at her. And I'm like, so like, what the heck? Right, like I go to her, I'm like, do you want to go out again? Like I ask her again. She's like, no. She's like, no. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, never? She's like, no, never. I'm like, okay, so why did you bite the bread? She's like, what? I'm like, why did you bite the bread? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, okay. Don't deceive people. Now I'm tripping because I still don't know if you bit the bread or not to this day. But I do remember having a dinner at home because Chef was like, I'm going to call your parents now because I remember being so pissed off, so annoyed. Like, why are people like this? Why do people just like not tell the truth? Like, why the hell do they deceive you? Like, why do people just deceive you? Why? Like, why? So I'm just like, dude, and like Velvel, and like, I don't know what's going on. And like, Stella's just like constantly in my mind. I'm trying not to think of her, but like I haven't talked to Stella for like years probably at this point, or like maybe here and there off. Actually, never mind, not years. I talked to her like in Japan, off and on, like FaceTime. Anyway, dude, Stella's boys, Stella's girls, Stella's hermaphrodite. Anyway, so should be like this beacon of light in the third eye, just like constantly there. And every time I would try to like get with Birdie, like say something to her, like try to like make an advance, Stella would be in my mind, and I would just be like, it's not fair. Like I would just feel like I'm cheating on Stella, even though we weren't even together, and she was probably dating someone at that point. And then I remember it's funny because like when I came to Stella in Calgary, she was like, they always come back. They always want the Stelly cake. So I'm like, I didn't say anything, but in my head I was just like, dude, you came back too. Like, if I came back to you in the earthly realm, like my full body moved to you, you were coming at me in the spirit realm. Like, don't lie, and you probably came first. So you came to each other. Don't put it on like they always come back. No, we come to each other equally. So anyway, until we both form at each other's faces like, what up? Kiss me now, you big lug. So anyway, Birdie's just like getting annoyed, and I'm like getting annoyed, and I'm just like, saying the stupidest things to her, like starting to get more and more sexual and shit. And she's like, stop saying that, stop calling me strawberry, stop this and stop that, you're gonna get in trouble. And I'm like, and like she would always go to, like anytime I would say some stuff to her, she would go to the back and like call Chef, because I think Chef was like, okay, you tell him, you call me if he says anything to you. Because I remember I admitted to Chef that I like her, or like I admitted to Chef that like I love her. I said I love her. Oh, I said, Birdie ga suki desu. How do I say the big one? Damn, I forgot. Birdie, aishimashite, aishittemashite, aishitemasu. There's another one. Suki, the big suki though. Taihen suki. I forget how you say it. Taihen suki desu. It's not that. Anyway, so I said it like that, and she was like, come Devin, come. Brought me outside, and she talked to me. She's like, so I know you like Birdie. You said this and this. You have to do this and this, okay? We cheer for you, okay? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, okay. But she's like, you have to do your work, and like blah blah. And she would always bring me out and try to tell me nicely, like, stop being an idiot, right? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, like, I'm going to leave to Japan and I need to get her pregnant right now. Especially because like at that time I was like, well, I still am. I've passed that stage at this point where I was holding in cum so long that you're like, you go through this phase, you're like, I need to impregnate every single girl I see. And like, once you pass that stage, then it like goes away. But anyway, so I was like at that. And anyway, I remember telling Stella, I'm like, there's this girl I met, Birdie, she's perfect. Because like Stella and I just talk about that stuff. But she mentioned back in Calgary, she was like, you said that to me on my birthday. And I was like, oh shit. She was like all mad about it. Because apparently she liked me the whole time. I'm like, duh. Or like, oh no, she said, I didn't know you liked me back. And I was like, what? Duh. Well, maybe she didn't think I liked her anymore, because like I was like, get out of my life. Like, holy crap, you treat me so bad. Like, just get that. I'm pissed at you. Like, a long time ago. That's why we like got pissed. And then she went to Calgary and Stella, what the hell? Sorry. So anyway, it starts getting stupid. And finally, Chef's like, yo, we're gonna cut a popo if you don't stop. And I go up to like the head office. They take me to the head office where like Big Mon's there. Big Mon and Chef sit me at the table of the Borgias. They're like, listen, you do not do this in the Illuminati. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, it's a harassment at this point. I was like, uh-oh. Like, I'm being stupid now. So then I'm like, you know what? I've had it. With all that other stuff I was talking about, like, still in my mind as a beacon of light. Velvel just always telling me to go die when I'm like, just stop being mean. Like, stop. Like, I'm trying to be nice, but, like, I was pretty friggin' retarded in that relationship. So I understand. And, like, Velvel saying I'm harassing her, calling the police. Birdie saying I'm harassing her, them threatening the police. I'm just like, I don't know what life is. I just want to go back to Japan. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm going to buy a bunch of Coke. That's what I'm like. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to understand what the heck people are like talking about when like, I'm just going to get Coke. Or like, you know, when you're like, you just get a bunch of drugs because like that thing where it's like, you're so down on your luck, you're just like, I'm just going to get heroin. Or I'm just going to get effed up. One of those. Yeah, I just felt like, what's the deal with Coke? Is it going to make me feel better? Or like, what's it going to do? I'm just going to get a bunch. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I'm about to go to the 70s. Like, I've been here since like 2020. So I haven't been doing Coke. I haven't been doing summer snow since 2020. Like, I did summer snow for like probably 3 months straight-ish. Because I was doing like the disco and stuff. But like the first month was just like, because I was pissed off at Brazzo College. And I would come in high as hell. And like after a month, I'm like, dude, I might as well just go to the 70s. So I went to the 70s for like 2 months, recorded some disco stuff like like Italo disco, whatever, electro, funk, jazz, or not jazz, soul. You know, that stuff. Synth pop and stuff. And just like recorded a bunch of stuff on Coke. But that was like 3 months back in like 2020 November, 2020 November or 2020 December. I don't know. So I would just first I was so pissed off before I got the yayo that I called elsewhere. I'm like, on FaceTime, I'm like, hey, I need someone to keep me warm. Like, I'm just pissed right now. And then I'm showing Rap Chat. I'm like, oh, look. And Rap Chat's like, is that your sister? I'm like, no. And then kind of a stepsister. So I went there. I'm like, I'm going to do the sex because I'm so freaking pissed. And I've been celibate for like years right now. I've been celibate for like 5 years right now. Then I went, and then I remember we're just chilling, drinking. I don't even know what we're doing. And then I go to kiss her, and I'm like, right when I went to kiss her, Birdie's face popped up in my face, and I'm like, no, like I can't even kiss you. Like, this is weird. I feel like I'm cheating on Birdie now. Because like we were getting there. Like we were, at this point we were like, okay. Yeah, this was like before all the harassment stuff. This is when like I felt like it got ruined because like I felt like Birdie's intuition, that was like actually her face, and she actually like felt something. Because like after that, next day I went into work. I went in like high and drunk. Like I didn't even care. I slept over there. Like we slept in our clothes. We slept in the same bed, but then just went to work high and drunk. And right when I turned the corner, Birdie's eyes are directly locked on mine already. Like I turned the corner and our eyes are just already like, boom, and then she looked down fast like she knew something, and I was like, oh. And then that's like, I think like then like a few weeks or 2 weeks or like a week or two later, I'm just like always feeling like ugly vibes around her. And I finally like, I have to tell her. So I went up to her, I'm like, hey Birdie, like I know maybe you're mad, and you probably because you think I like slept with this other girl, but like I didn't. And she's like, what? She's like, you think I'm mad because you slept with another girl? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you're so crazy. You're so crazy. You're so crazy. Like, she was like, oh my God. And she went to go call chef, and she was like crying and stuff. I was like, dude, I'm actually crazy. But I'm like, I don't know. I feel like everyone can know things. Like, I feel like I was like, dude, I saw her face right when I was about to kiss elsewhere. So that was actually her seeing me, like, psychically. And like, now she knows. So I'm like, I went to confront her about it. And like, she apparently didn't. Maybe she did, but like, didn't even know she did. I don't know. I just feel like everyone's like an all-knowing, sentient, omniscient God. But like, we are. But like, you gotta like chill it out and be balanced at the levels people are at, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's just fake. I could have just hallucinated her face out of guilt. But I feel like somehow it got to her. In some sense. In some focal point of the Akash. Anyway, I'd have dreams of her and stuff. So yeah, after I said that, that's when it started getting weird. And that's when I started pissing her off and stuff. So anyway, get to fast forward. I'm about to get the cops called on me. I'm gonna come in. I come in high as hell one day. Like when I get the coke for the first time, I'm like, summer snow, we're going tobogganing down the slippery slopes, and I'm doing the biggest line that I ever did. And I just go, brah. And I'm like, ooh. Biggest line ever made. I got the biggest 4G bag. This was like the first time I ever got summer snow like in bulk to just do it. Like this is the first time I ever did summer snow to just do it. Like just actually did it. Like not like one day and I'm just doing it, or like a few days at a cottage. No, I just like was doing it. But this first line, I did the biggest, and everything in this lower jaw to the neck was invisible. And I'm like FaceTiming with Elsewhere. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like I cannot feel anything. Like this is like the nummies ever. And she was with this guy, Brad. Actually, I won't say Brad. I'll call him the Mad Lad. She was with this guy, the Mad Lad, and they're both on FaceTime. Like, dude, what the heck? And she's like, and Elsewhere's like, I don't know, Novocaine? Because like Mad Lad was a dealer. So I'm telling them like, yo, I got this off Weed Maps. Like I just texted a guy on Weed Maps. I'm like, yo, do you always also sell summer snow? He's like, nah, man. I'm like, what about 4Gs? He's like, now we're talking. Yo, my guy will be there in 2 seconds. And he's like, la 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 la, why you always in a mood? Fuck around acting brand new. When I'm trying to, yo, come to the side of the car. It's like, here you go. No, I wasn't even in the car. Just like, I was walking on this, I was skateboarding down. It was nighttime, and I just see this guy in the darkness. I'm like, oh crap, it's him. It's like, no, I'm kidding, it wasn't like that. But I didn't even see him get in a car, man. He did it like ninja. So I took the fattest line, and I'm just doing lines all night. And I'm like, I gotta get to work at 7. I gotta get up on my bike, get to work at 7. And it's like 4. And I'm like, whatever, I'll just go to sleep for like 3 hours. I don't even know if I got to sleep. I get up, I'm like, I was drinking wine last night too. So I just get the wine glass that's on the side of my bed, and I just dump a dumbass amount of summer snow in it. And I chug it. And I'm like, I'm taking an Uber. And I go in an Uber and I go to work, and I'm like, oh, and I smoke a joint before the Uber's coming. Like I smoke a roach. So like, I'm friggin' a triple threat right now. And the 4th threat is DeVonQi. And I get in the Uber and I'm like, oh no, I'm super off the rocker. Good thing we're wearing COVID masks. jacket to cover my face a bit. I remember walking in, and Sister F's like, what the frick? And they're making fun of me. And there's a coffee cup on the floor, and Sister F picks it up, and she's like, oh, Devin dropped his cup. And I'm like, heh, 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 heh. I'm freaking high as heck. I'm freaking high as heck. And I feel like they were telling the students, like, you know, this is a very serious thing. Because, like, Chef would come up, take me out and be like, this is, like, serious. We take this serious here if, like, this stuff's happening. I'm like, damn. He's like, if I find that you're doing it here and stuff, I'm like, dude. Like, the first time I had it in my pocket when I was at work, and I didn't even remember it was in my pocket. But, like, I never did it at work. I never did it at work. I felt too stupid to do it, like, do it at work. I remember at Anco though. Oh yeah, I said it already. People would just bring summer snow and be like, "Here's a line." I'd be like, "You got a line? Let's go, let's go." And I'd be like, "Is it too late now to say sorry? You don't know what's in store, but you know what you're here for." You're just jamming. And doing your dish, or not, you're doing your bottle servicing and your shot collecting. Chilling with the homies. Doing stuff with the lads. So anyway, where were we? I come in stupid. Like, I'm really stupid. Stupidly high. Like, I didn't mean to be that high, but I got stupidly high because I was just so done. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Subtle. I'm done. Substantial thought. Subtle afterthought. I just want Stella. I just want to be with Stella. Because I grew up, like, dude, the beacon of light of Stella was like the most annoying thing. Like, I remember like getting so mad in an email. I'm like, I cannot get with any girl because your freaking beacon of light is in my head, and I'm so annoyed. She probably thought I was like so weird. Stella. Yeah, now she's just being a bumhead. I hope she's just playing games, but I don't know if she's playing games or actually serious about her bumheadedness. But I can't call her a bumhead, but she's kind of a bumhead. And I'm kind of a bumhead too. So, yeah, at this point, I was actually talking for an whole other hour, but I'm about to finish it now. So I guess to the point where I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave this stupid job. Like, I can't deal. And I kept getting so paranoid. I'm like, she's seeing rap chat. And I'd be like at home doing the summer snow, snorting some Linos with the Vino Rosso on the side and the Guido, doing dumb things like watching 70s movies. Or I remember one of the fun times I had was watching The Dirt. I'm like, I'm going to watch The Dirt. I'm like, it's not the 70s, but it's kind of close. And it's not even the 80s. It was filmed, like, that's the loophole in the time machine. I can, like, watch something that is set in the time, but, like, filmed later. But anyway, I just would be doing this off the Led Zeppelin album, too. That made it seem cooler. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do it off the Led Zeppelin album cover and go, just doing Linos like a big Marino. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, because I never had like this much yay on deck. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to do a coca joint. I'm going to do a Christmas tree. I'm going to do a Christmas tree joint. So that smoked like 3 tokes, and then it got super hard and wouldn't smoke anymore, and I just chucked it on the ground and stomped on it because I was already dumb boy high. But I do remember after doing like 1.5 grams of that 4G bag, I chucked it all in the toilet because I was like, dude, I hate this stuff. This stuff is disgusting. Like, I remember being like, how could I ever get addicted to this stuff? How could anyone get addicted to this? This stuff is so stupid. I've reached such a naturally high state where you're just so naturally high in your own self with the world, with the universe, and without it, that the oils in the spine are dispersed evenly, dude. So the term to me getting high is now getting low. Wouldn't you like to be at this point? Wouldn't you like to get to that state? You are. We are. I would take a line of yay and just feel like, oh, that's what the line of yay did. It went down. I'm like that. Or like when I would smoke Kush, I'd feel like all gunk getting in the gears and be like, but it did kind of open your, because like it does slow everything down. So because of things being slowed down, you can kind of take note of more. So there are benefits to everything, though you do not need. But it's fun to do, but not fun to get stupidly addicted to or anything like that. And I would say it's funner to not do. It's funner to find such highs naturally. Anyway, so finally I'm just like, yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, and the times when I was coming super high to work, chef's like, I'm going to call your parents. Yeah, I'm going to call your parents. And I was like, whatever. My parents never told me about if she called or not. But I just do remember having dinner one night with them, and there was a bite in my bread they served, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, is that a bite or not? I'm like, okay, now you're all tripping me out. Now I'm getting too tripped out. My mom would be like, knowing I'm on coke. My dad would know I was on coke, and my mom would be like, you're so beautiful, Devin. I'm like, I'm so high right now. And I remember being like, I don't want to eat because I'm so high. But then I remember getting to a point where I could snort and then I could still eat. I just remember being like, yo, this is an herb. Like, it's not like that, like, wiry, it's not like that wiry, crystally, shardy high that's like Molly or meth. I took in, I'm like, oh yeah, I realize it's an herb, so it's kind of soft. Especially if you smoke weed with it. But it's still stupid. It's such a dumb drug. So anyway, whatever, I'm finally like, I'm going to leave this dumb job. I don't say anything to anyone, but I make a big, giant bowl of rice in this big metal bowl. And I bring it into work. And I'm like, I remember Birdie liked spicy food when we would have our like good talks before all the dumb stuff. I'd be like, you like spicy, don't you? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So I made it spicy for her, even though it wasn't, like, it didn't even turn out spicy. Because, like, I remember making the same thing at home, and I put the same amount of spice in it, and I tried it. Because, like, I never tried it when I made it for them. It was, like, my going away gift. So I just made a big bowl for everyone, and just was like, I'm quitting, bye. And then, like, when I went home a few days later, I made it again, and put the same amount of chili in it, and it wasn't even spicy. So I bet you they were like, wow, what a noob. Usually I used to make it spicy, but I guess I failed that time. So anyway, I just leave. Sister F calls and she's like, what the heck? I'm like, what? She's like, why did you leave? Why did you quit? I'm like, because I can't take it anymore. And she's like, why? Because of Birdie? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you left because of a girl. You're too hung up on her, boy. I was like, whatever. I gotta go to church. I remember being like, I gotta go to church. I just remember being super high and dumb and drunk at work one day. I'm just like, Sister F, I need to go to church. And B-Ball overheard and was like, fucking guy. And Sister F's like, it's okay. I'm like, stop, man. I gotta go to church. Anyway, so I just remember being like, texting her after me like, yo, blah, blah, blah. Like, is she talking about me and stuff? Or like, no, I don't remember saying that. I just remember being like, I remember like talking about her to her. And like, she's like, she doesn't think about you. She doesn't care about you. Like, move on. She doesn't like you. I was like, what? She's like, she doesn't study you. And then she was like, I was like, isn't she seeing Rap Chat? And she's like, what? They're not seeing each other. I'm like, yeah, they are. Like, Devin, are you crazy? Are you actually crazy? I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, I could swear to frick they are. But I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I don't freaking know what the heck. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people are just lying. They're like, it's none of your business, so I'm just gonna say, what? No, are you crazy? Like that. It's like you could just say yes or no. But I guess they're saying no. I'm like, I hope that's the truth. Like, I hope. I don't know. Like I get the feeling people are like, I have to protect them, so I can't tell, or else he's gonna do something. But I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just like, I just want to know, so I can like move on with my life for real. But I guess it was a no. But I don't know. I still don't know. Probably was a no. After looking in retrospect, it's just like, I still don't know. So I just moved on and was like, I don't know what's going on. And I think that's when the cops, the Velvel calling the police was like a month after leaving that job. Yeah, probably like a month after leaving that job. With this, I guess I'll tell the story at another time. And there'll be a new character. We'll call her, Bolito. We'll call her Bolito. And just wanted to watch 13 Reasons Why over the phone with Bolito, drinking some red wine. Like a creepo. But then again, I was acting like a sneako. And then the Velva was like, yo, I'm gonna call my people. And then she called the people, and the people came to the peephole. They knocked on the door, and then I creeped to the door, and then oh no, I opened the thing, and then yo, and they said, hello, is Devin home? And I said, yo, I am him, and he's not me, but I'm not known. Do you know that, sir? He's like, no. Now listen, you can't be fucking around. You can't be talking that ish. It's harassment. We don't like to wish bad upon you, but if you talk again, we're gonna arrest you, dude. Anyway, I'll just get into that story another time. It'll be a short one. So, because, actually, no, then there's more to that story. Anyway, yeah. Life went on. Didn't know what the heck. I got more summer snow. I guess what? Dude, those 3 months were the weirdest 3 months. I understand, dude, you act like a retard if you're doing summer snow. After that 3 months, and I came back to sobriety, and I was aware of what the heck happened in those 3 months. I was like, wow, you can frig up doing that stuff. I was like, I did that. I was thinking about it. I'm like, holy, I did that. But I just remember the winter came, and then I got it again to do some more music, because I'm like, dude, I gotta take a huge break off this, because it sucks, but I want to be on it to do this disco and stuff, because for the time machine, but this is the dumbest drug of them all right now. Out of the whole time machine, I'm like, this is the most annoying stuff. So I just remember being super high on it, and I called Stella. Well, no, I wasn't high on it yet. But I called Stella one day. I FaceTimed her and I Skyped her, and she was like, oh, this was Halloween. I Skyped her on Halloween, and then she answered. I was like so surprised that she answered. And she's like, DeVonQi. And I'm like, Stella. And she's in her little alien costume. First thing I see of Stella is her in an alien costume. It was God was like, you guys are alien to each other now. Move on. I don't know. But then I'm like, no, that's not what it means. No, damn, we're just aliens, okay? And she was with her friend, and they were both aliens. I'm like, why you look so ugly? Just being stupid. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go. She would always be like, okay, I gotta go. And I'm like, no. She's like, no. And I would just hang up. And she would always do that all the time. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm like, no, but Stella, no, stay. I don't do that to anyone. Just Stelly. Stelly's been there forever. Stella's the one that's been there like all the time. So anyway. Yeah, and then I'm calling her, and I just remember like talking to her one night, and I was super high because I was like working on music, and I left, and I'm like talking to her in a park at night on FaceTime, and I'm like, dude, I'm so scared to go back home. Like everyone knows I'm high and stuff. And then finally I'm like, dude, I'm coming to Calgary. I come. Anyway, that's it for this story. Farewell. Just, be patient. I wasn't patient. I had this silly idea, and I had to get this girl pregnant immediately. But when I think about it, it was dumb. Oh, and I do remember actually being like, I gotta get her pregnant. And like, Chef would be doing these weird energy work things to us. And I'd feel like weird tingles in my pee-pee, and like she would feel it in hers. I don't know. Like she would move her fingers. Chef would move her fingers at us and like do weird stuff to us. Like her husband knew like, was like a black belt. So like they knew this like Qigong stuff, I guess. Anyway, I just remember 2 ducks coming in our pool that same time when I kept saying like I'm gonna get her pregnant. And I would have dreams of like getting her pregnant. And then these 2 ducks came in our pool, and one of them was pregnant. And I was like, oh cool. And then she laid her eggs, and there's like 13. I'm like, oh cool, 13 or 12. And then she laid they were swimming in our back pool, and she laid the eggs in the front where the porch is and the bushes. So we're waiting. It's like 2 weeks pass. There's like another week or like another 4 days or something till they hatch. And a coyote gets the eggs and the duck one morning. And we wake up to it. And Daddy's like burying it. Daddy gets the shovel and he's like, I said, I'm sorry, Mama. Never meant to hurt you. And I'm just like, that was supposed to be a sign that Birdie and I are gonna have a baby. And the coyote destroyed it. And I'm like searching, I'm like on Google, I'm like, what is the spiritual meaning of a coyote? And it's like the jokester or something of the world. I don't know. But I just remember being like, yo, maybe all those eggs were all the abortions I've had. Yeah, I've had abortions. And like plan Bs. Not because I can't pull out, but because girls are like, wear a condom. I'm like, I don't wear condoms. And they're like, wear it or we're not having sex. And I'd wear it and then just pull it off in the middle of it. Then I'd be like, whatever, I'll just keep it on so I can just come. Because like, I can pull out. It's never been an issue. But then I'm using the condom. And then I remember just feeling something subtly change. But I'm like, nah, there's nothing wrong. And then I just finish. And I pull out. And the tip of my pee-pee is just bare. And I'm like, ooh, the condom was ripped, so you got cum in you. And it's like, LOL, you wanted this condom to protect you, but it just literally made it worse. Because that same exact situation happened like 7 times, and she got pregnant like 7 times. Same with the first girlfriend I had. She would be like, come inside me, you can come inside me, you can come inside me because I'm on the birth control. And she got pregnant like twice. And had to get an abortion. And then, yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't mention names. But one girl's like, you can come inside me, because like my uterus is like messed up, it doesn't work. I can't have babies. Gets pregnant twice. And it was like the first time she ever got pregnant. So I'm like, dude, I'm really fertile. That's cool. Like that guy, that one tribal man who was like, You see, all these women, they get pregnant. I look at them, pregnant. You, boom, pregnant. He's like humps the air. He's like, boom, pregnant. Boom, pregnant. Y'all pregnant. He has like a grass skirt and a staff. And they probably did get pregnant. Anyway, so I'm like, yo, those were all the abortions I've had. All those eggs. That was the sign. Anyway. You gotta be responsible. Costello was super disappointed at that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know. Like, and she'd always tell me, you just be. You don't know freedom. And I'm like, just be is the lowest form of intelligence. Just be can be seen as the lowest form of intelligence. Like, you're just being. Like, do something else. Be conscious. Be conscious about your being. Don't just be. Because I would talk to her about responsibility and she'd always like argue. And I'd be like, well, you got to be responsible to be free. Like, and I was like, look at this. You're so upset about the abortions. What should I have been more? I should have been more blank. More responsible, right? Anyway, Stella, right now, I won't even say it, but I hope you love DeVonQi. Well, you do, but I'm disappointed in you right now. I'm disappointed in you. Anyway, farewell. Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait. We're watching the stars, looking for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb on us?